Welcome to episode 33 of We Have Issues. I'm Anthony.
And I'm Stevie Wildcard.
And every week, Stevie Wildcard and I get together to do our best to just, Leonidas Spartan kick every bad problem messenger down the well into the doom pits and get something done. Most recently, we've been working on a semi-autobiographical time travel graphic novel musical, which we're almost done with. We're doing, fantastic work, I think. If you've been following along, you know the whole story behind that. If not, there are a bunch of episodes. There are 32 previously on We Have Issues. There are 32 episodes that we've already done. That's nuts. Anyway, but before we get into anything else, I have a lot of questions for you, Stephen. Before we get into anything else, the reason I said the Leonidas Spartan kick is because we are almost at 300 subscribers on YouTube, which is
insane,
amazing for us for what we're doing. Like 300, we have 300 people. We have an army of people who can almost say we can make Xerxes bleed, Stephen.
And before you kick them in, you look back and it's me.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, I give you the approval, and then you kick the messenger into the damn well. That's what you do.
It's gonna happen. It's not only that, but even better though. Even better because we have ostriches on our side, so we are gonna be 300 plus ostrich kickboxing birds. We're fine. However, we are 3 or 4 away from getting that 300, and by the time I post this episode, I just want to know that we're at 300. But if we're not, even if we are, hit that subscribe button right now. If you're on YouTube and you're watching this, just please subscribe. Because I know a lot of people, thankfully, a lot of people join us every week. Some of them aren't subscribing. I don't understand it. I don't want them to be on the bottom of that well, Stephen. But my Leonidas kick is coming up. It's something fierce. I'm learning everything I know from watching ostriches kick, and I'm pretty sure I can do it these days. I've been working on it. My form is spectacular. It's not, Stephen.
It's not great at all.
I have not been exercising. I need to get back. Anyway, so how'd you do this week?
I did pretty awesome. I got 2 pages done again. They will be right hither and hither. Yeah, these were fun pages. This is the first time where I've actually been able to really get goofy with it.
Getting goofy with it.
Fun fact. Around Christmas time every year, I annoy my wife Tina and Josh and various friends with give me figgy pudding instead of getting jiggy with it.
Give me figgy
pudding. But yeah, that's every year. But yeah, 2 pages done this week, so that puts us at 24 pages totally complete.
That's amazing.
So I think there's about 12 pages left that I actually have to physically pencil.
Right, with the pencil pages, not counting the chapter outline, the chapter and such. But that's mostly Photoshop heavy stuff.
And if I need to pencil anything, I can just add it in. What I've even done with these pages, I can even send you some of the what the pages actually look like before I scan them in. But I spend a lot of time now just kind of doing a little dueling. I sketch different panels loosely on the page, and then I just build them in Photoshop, and it looks amazing. Great.
It's been I really like that fun hybrid process that you have going now, and it totally the pages look awesome. Those pages that we just shared, I saw them earlier today, and it's just yes, we're getting into the more positive stuff.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, Speaking of which, so I finished writing song 3, which was just devastating to my case.
The darkest of darks.
Just ooh, it's did you have some heart left? Not anymore, son. The Grinch's heart was stomped to pieces on that day. There was nothing on. So I was but it's the last dark song that I have to write, and it had the very first hint of glint of hope at the tail end of it. So it was
awesome.
I'm done, I'm done with that part of it. We still have to build the music part, but that's not nearly as heart-wrenching as going through those lyrics. And
and I'm the one that has to listen to it over and over anyway. You're not going to sit there while I add the stuff, Yeah. I'll have to listen to it for hours, and my heart and soul will therefore break for you, but you won't have to deal with it.
Oh man, so as I was writing it, I was bothering Zoe, who's going to be doing the female vocals, because I am, and you're the same way. Just when you're drawing something and you start feeling that that weird tinge of insecurity, and you're I think this might work, but I don't know, and I want to make sure that he thinks it's okay, because if it's not okay, I don't want to have to redo this. And even if I do have to redo this, it's okay, but I don't want him to get upset about it. And that's how I was feeling about writing the song, knowing that Zoe was going to sing it, because I was I I want to make sure that like she feels comfortable in this range and like she thinks this will sound good in this arrangement and stuff. So I was like sending her videos of just like what I was coming up with. I was like, can you sing this and make it sound better than the thing I'm doing? And she was like, I don't know, like, let me try. And so she sent me a couple of quick videos of her just doing it. I was like tears coming down my face. I'm like, that was a mistake. I was like, Zoe,
no.
I was like, Zoe, never say those words to me again in that order. Like, I mean, you can take those words and shuffle them up, put them in any other order. I never want to hear that from you again or anyone else. Thanks so much. And anyway, appreciate it. No, but it sounded amazing. It was like I don't know.
Her voice is awesome.
Her voice is so good, and and just like hearing the songs as I was writing that song and having her like send back exactly what I was hoping she would do and better was just really great. You know, so I was like I was just like all of this like I was sad from writing the song, but all of this like great like ambition and just like optimism was coming in from hearing that from her, because I was like, it felt real, but it also felt just like it was coming together, like there was some meat on the bones, so it wasn't just like me withering to like alone in the darkness, but dude, so I finished song 3. The bones are done with it. I haven't recorded like my quick version of it yet. I'll try to do that before I release this and put it at the tail end of this one, because it probably shouldn't take me that long. It's just like the bare bones like we've done previously. So I'll try to do that for this episode because it shouldn't take that long.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Cool.
What's been up with you otherwise?
Today was Brandon's birthday, which is my brother.
Right.
He turned 24 today because he's 10 years younger. I turned 34 on the 28th.
Crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy. Little baby Brandon, 24 years old. But I brought over Samuel, who Samuel's mom is my mom's dog. And my mom also kept 2 of Samuel's brothers. So Samuel got to play all day with his husky brothers, and they just had a blast.
Oh my gosh.
And they're like so much bigger than him.
Really?
After some questioning, we found out that I was like, am I underfeeding him? And mom's like, no, actually, your dog looks pretty like lean and healthy. I think we've been overfeeding our pup. And Bobby's like, well, I give him a scoop. And then they like broke down the math. They're like, oh, they're getting like 4 or 5 cups of food a day.
Oh,
and
no.
Sam eats 2. So like,
right. He gets the appropriate amount of food, whereas the other ones are just monsters.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was pretty adorable though. And like,
oh yeah.
So Sam does this thing where he like backs up his butt when he's trying to play. Like he like puts his butt in your face because he like, from what I've read online, it's him being submissive.
Yeah. So
like, but he was doing this like trick where he would like be losing, and then he'd put the butt in the face, and then he'd flip back around and start like whooping butt again, and then as soon as they would like start to win, he would do
Fell
the
for it,
butt
didn't you, sucker?
every time, because he's smaller. When he first got there, the other 2 were scared of him because they hadn't seen him in like 5 weeks or whatever it was, and they were intimidated by him. But then once they realized, oh wait, we're way bigger than him, they just started bullying him, and it was pretty funny. But we had a blast though. It was a good time.
Oh, that's awesome. I've had a pretty good few days. Like I went to the park with Atlas a couple times. There was another parent. It was funny. There was a parent there. There was like another dad, and it was like he was a cool guy. But we got to talking, and it just like came up. I was like, yeah, I'm doing this podcast. I do a podcast. And then it occurred to me, I was like, I bet I can get people to subscribe to our podcast if I just talk about it in public. So I'm like, if I'm already in a situation and people are there, I'm just going to be like, subscribe to my podcast. Take out your phone. You know what YouTube is. You have a YouTube account. We're your grandparents. Get your grandparents on board.
You want your parents and your grandparents.
Want your parents and your grandparents. Like, grandparents should join our colony. Any ostrich enthusiasts or kickboxing enthusiasts, vampire enthusiasts, join this colony. Anyway, so I was like, so I have a podcast, I do this thing, blah, blah, blah. And he was into it, and he was like, oh, that's really awesome. That sounds cool. And he like subscribed right in front of me. I was like, yes. I was like,
that's amazing.
I was like, yeah, I was like, this is really cool. I don't get a lot of random good interactions with strangers. I usually avoid them because they tend to go the other way, where I'm like, oh, you're going to say something horrible. You're going to say something and I don't want to be around you. Like, I was like, I don't know how to avoid. I'm trying. I just like I put my blinders on. I'm gonna put my head in the sand of this whole part, like in the park. I find a park and I ostrich up. So yeah, I don't know. Like that was probably just going to parks and stuff. It was a lot of fun with him. Otherwise, I don't know, Steven. Like, I'm not dating, so I'm feeling like that tinge of loneliness. But the one thing that's been kind of like keeping me off the dating apps and like kind of filling my heart a little, Steven, is every once in a while I get scammers in my message box, like in my DMs. For some reason, they just like robot dance into my DMs, and I'm like, yes, please, like more of this. Like, I would like more. Thank you. But recently I've gotten a bunch of them. And so I've, we talked about it a little bit last week, and I think it's time that we share at least one of them. Like, so like once a week, I think we should share like a quick one that was pretty funny. All right. Like,
I think it's a great idea.
I sent you a conversation earlier, and this one, I'm torn, Steven. It's either going to be called Illuminati or Illuminati.
Naughty boy.
Yeah. So either way, I'll like you guys can decide. It's prepare for the tale of Illuminati or Illuminati. So Steven's going to be reading the part of a complete stranger who added me on Facebook randomly, sent me a friend request, which if you send me a friend request, I'm just going to accept it. This is what I'm going to do. I'm not in the business of turning away friends. There's no like that's just not who I. So
my heart, Anthony, my damn heart.
Hey, the position of best friend has been filled for years. No one's getting in there. Like, I mean, there are people who like.
I mean, there's no room. There's really no room.
But okay, so obviously the best friend position is filled. However, if you want to just like send me a friend request, I'm going to accept. I'm going to be like, yeah, sure, why not? Especially if you're a scammer or a robot who's going to send me this sort of message. So Steven's going to be playing the part of Aaron, who is a random strange man who began to message me, and I'll be playing the part of just me. You ready? This is Illuminati or Illuminati.
Illuminati. Welcome to the Illuminati world, bringing the poor, the needy, and the talented to the limelight of fame and riches. Get money, fame, powers, progress. Get recognized in your business. Rise to the top in whatever you do. Be protected spiritually and physically. All these you will achieve in a twinkle of an eye when you get initiated into the great Illuminati world order. Once you are initiated to the Illuminati empire, you have numerous other benefits. Hail the Illuminati. Do you want to join?
The Illuminati? Possibly. How does it work?
Yeah, the Illuminati. Do you want to join? With the help of the Illuminati Brotherhood, you can achieve your goals and dreams come true.
How does it work?
Real simple. Are you on WhatsApp?
No.
Go and download it and get back to me. Are you done?
No, I need to read all of these books on the Illuminati first.
Okay, good.
All right, downloaded it. Is that how you're going to send information about your club?
What the fuck are you saying? Am I the Grand Master of the Illuminati Brotherhood?
You have to understand, without context or evidence of any actual benefits, that sounds a lot like saying that you're the king of Xanadu. You haven't explained what it is. You just demanded that I downloaded an app.
Yeah.
So what do you do? Is it a support network? Is there actual soul blood magic involved? Both.
No human blood sacrifice. You don't have to be afraid. It's going good. Don't be afraid. Do you want to join?
I'm mostly leaning toward yes. But I have to hear more about what you do in the club.
I will, man.
Okay. So I will, man. Like,
no comma.
Okay. My favorite thing about this one in particular, like just pause for it. My favorite thing about this one is that it's clearly an actual person sending messages. Some of them are copy paste, but some of them are just like him really typing to me. And that's what was like cracking me up the whole time. Because a lot of the time with these scammers, it's just like full copy paste. They never respond to what I'm actually saying. He's like, no human blood sacrifice.
No, man, no, none of that stuff.
Wait a second. Worry. So, okay,
we're much more sophisticated.
So I write, how do you choose members? What happens once I become a member?
You will be rich, famous, and celebrated.
Are you rich, famous, and celebrated?
Yeah, most respectfully.
like the fact that you have to ask that question to someone, just okay. Can you connect me with a member whom I might be more familiar with? Do you know Kat Dennings?
No, man. Have you downloaded the WhatsApp?
I did, but then I read all about the phishing scams and the Agent Smith viruses, so I deleted it. So I have to be honest with you. I was really only in this to meet Kat Dennings.
Okay, good. Go and download the WhatsApp and sign it up. No virus.
And then you'll introduce me to Kat Dennings? I mean, no pressure or anything. I just feel like we would get along.
Yeah, nothing much. Just download the WhatsApp and get back to me.
But seriously, is Kat Dennings on WhatsApp?
I'm going to tell you everything you need to know. An American actress, female actress.
That sounds like a no. I think if she was in there, you'd be selling that right away.
Oh, Aaron's going to lie to you right now. He's on WhatsApp. I'm going to... Oh, wait.
No,
it's the same thing.
Oh, was it too? Hang on. I don't know what.
Oh,
okay.
no, it happens again. Oh, okay. Everything is perfectly fine. Okay, got you. Go. Do be afraid. Everything is perfectly fine.
Yes. I'll wait here for her message.
Just get WhatsApp.
I don't know why you have to tease me like this. If she doesn't like me, just say so.
She love you. Just get WhatsApp and text her there. That's all.
Okay.
She love you.
She love you. Okay. I should have kept that one going. I probably could have gone like full circle with that one. I stopped because I couldn't stop laughing at the fact that this person was so desperate for me to download WhatsApp and like for them to get my information that he said she love you about Kat Dennings. I mean, now here's the thing, Steven. I didn't do the social math. I didn't go through it. Like, I didn't do my due diligence and check to make sure that Kat Dennings wasn't on WhatsApp. Right now, I couldn't miss my opportunity with Kat Dennings. This is the thing. Maybe
he may very well have known her.
He may have very well have been the Grand Master of the Illuminati, Steven. I mean...
He was like messaging her on the side, like, listen, the Illuminati's tapping you in. You have to date this man. She's like, I guess it's what I signed up for with the blood pact I took. And he's like, no blood. No blood pact.
No blood involved. Kat
Dennings is just trolling him on the other side.
Oh, man. She would
try to connect you to...
So awesome. Anyway.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, but that was so funny. But dude, there have been so many of those that just... Like, anytime they respond in, like, a real human way and they're just desperate to get my information, it's so funny. Like...
they do it too because, like I said, they don't get the hits. When someone finally actually responds, they just lose their mind. They just like they do everything they possibly can to just get that person.
It's so funny, dude. Like, next week we should do next week I want to read the one where I convinced the guy to say that he'd eat me. Like, yeah, he did. He just said it. Like, it was just a thing that he was like, yeah. I'll do it. Like, it was just crazy. Like, who?
Whatever you need me to do, buddy. Listen, man, just send me the money.
I mean, yeah, whatever you like. As long as you send me an email address, I can send it to this guy who's gonna take all the information and sell it to other people. Like, yeah, it's fine. But I don't know. I don't know how any of it works. I've tried. Every once in a while, I'll get like a scammer like that one who is messaging me, so I can tell there's someone on the other side of the keyboard. So I start to try. I just want to convince them to talk to me like a person for like 2 seconds. Just be like, I don't care. Like, I do care. I wish you weren't doing the thing you're doing. It does suck. Like, it's ethically like nonsense. But I just want to know. Like, I'm curious to know. Like, first of all, like what you just said. Like, no one's responding to this, right? Like, there's no way this is working. Like, I got one recently. Like, some lady on Cash App on Instagram was like, I'll pay you money. I'll give you $1,000 through Cash App, but you sign up and send me $25 first. I'm like, why would anyone do that? Why would anyone?
Who falls for this?
Who falls for this? So I sent back to her. I was like, how about you just give me $25 less money and we'll call it even? That's it. Like, that's...
Yeah. We'll meet in the... Yeah.
We'll meet in the middle.
Just deduct the
$25. Deduct that like, I don't need that extra 25. I understand that it's very selfless of me to take this hit. but I don't need that $25. You just give me the 1,000. Let's just call it even thou. Like you were gonna give me 1,200 or whatever. Like give me $1,000. I'll just walk away, and that's
you
fine.
keep the chew. I mean, that's a good cut.
It's my gift to you, baby. Like I just thought it was so weird. And she sent me a video and everything. She's like, I'm real. And I was like, sending a video of your face doesn't make me think that you're going to give me $1,000 for nothing. Like, I don't know. Like, I
believe you're a real person.
I believe you're a human person. Yeah, I believe you're garbage. It's fine. Like that's everyone can do that. It is interesting to see that though, because normally it's just like a fake picture, or like they try to pose as someone who's like exceptionally pretty. Like I got one recently on Twitter who was like, someone pretending to be this like beautiful French woman, and she's just talking about how she like is looking for love and all this stuff, and like they sent me like naked like topless picture almost immediately, like within as soon as I was like a little hesitant to like talk to them, in like a silly way, because I was doing the thing I always do where I just like mess with them. But as soon as I was like, I don't know if I'm interested in this, they just sent naked pictures like right away. Like here's some breasts for you, and I was like, I mean, thanks. I feel weird because I know that's not you. You're just sending random naked pictures of someone who is not like neither of us. Like no one has consent to do this situation. Like this is weird. I hope that's at least like porn, like for free on Google. I don't know. Like that's crazy.
Hope it's not like an X or something like that of yours.
This is how I mess with people. It's not even about you. It's about her. I'm gonna get her. That's terrible.
Yeah, I'm just really it's a horrible thing to do to people, scammer.
Yeah, I don't know. So I've been doing that a lot this week because I'm not dating ever again in my life. He said a month before he dates. So
It's just great. We're making it though. You're fine. You're fine. You date someone, you'll be fine. You don't seem to. It doesn't seem to slow you up or anything. So
no, it's fine.
You'll probably end up dating.
Yeah, but like honestly, if anything, it's like I do get a lot more done when I'm not dating, you know? So it's like I have that extra energy and just time. Like, you know, and I feel like I don't have to wait for people to watch shows, and I can watch any movies I want. So it's like I have that freedom, which I know is like I'm just grasping at straws here in my loneliness. But the fact that I can be like, oh, I'm gonna watch episode 4 of this, and I don't have to wait like 2 days for someone to like be available, but also not too tired to watch a thing, you know, like because that happens. So yeah, that's kind of cool. It gives me that, like being single gives me that extra time to do that stuff. It also gives me a little too much time to think about nonsense. Steven, you know what I realized? That there's magic in the Lost Boys. Like, first of all, let me start right here by saying I love the Lost Boys, and nothing will ever take that from me. Like, everything I'm about to say isn't like I'm gonna poke holes in the Lost Boys. It's more, I don't see why they didn't do more with the like illusions in Lost Boys. It just like it occurred to me because I was like, that's such a cool scene. So there's a scene in Lost Boys. There's such a cool scene where like there's a scene where they're eating Chinese food, and Michael goes to eat Chinese food, and it's like maggots and worms, but it's really Chinese food. So it's like they're using like a glamour on him, you know, like they're messing with him using magic. But it never happens again in the movie, as far as we know, right?
No, yeah, it doesn't.
So there's nothing else. Like, so I mean, unless like David is pretending to be Star the whole time, because I don't even know, like.
Can you imagine?
So okay, so okay, so I did realize
I'm touching my boobs, Michael.
I'll tell you. I'm going to tell you exactly. You want to know what? This is how my dumb brain works. I made this like very sugary, very like creamer heavy coffee. And I was feeling like tired, but as I took a sip of it, I heard fire will rise. like that song from the Lost Boys, just like when he's drinking the blood, and you just hear like the you know, like
it's so good.
Like that's what happened.
Billion Chinese people can't be wrong, Michael. I actually quoted that today,
dude. But so that's what happened. So I took a sip of my coffee. I just like immediately had all these thoughts about Lost Boys, where I was like, why isn't there more magic in it? They could have done so much with that. But then I realized, what if the sax man was also a vampire? Or a siren? He had to be something.
What if he was like really ugly and like he was just
That's what I was getting at. So I was thinking. That's why I suggested Siren. But what I'm really thinking is he's a vampire, but he's using the glamour to make himself beautiful and oily because like there's no other way to attain that. No one can look like that in real life, right? Like
there's not enough oil on the planet. I just want to say there's no way you're that oily and holding on to a sax that well. This is not going to happen.
There's no way.
Unless he has people applying it.
Look, I'm not saying he didn't play that beautifully live and he isn't like a talented multi-instrumentalist and everything. What I'm saying is it's more impressive that he was just a fountain, a volcano, a geyser of guys stuff. Like, he was gross. He was gooey and amazing and beautiful. And
he looked like a wrestler.
He looked like a wrestler.
All at the same time. He did look like a wrestler.
He did look like a wrestler. You know, it's pretty funny when like people have that weird wrestler energy, but it's like outside of wrestling.
Like I bet you talk trash. I bet you're like a heel in some underground wrestling circuit.
Did you watch Daredevil on Netflix?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so I love Daredevil on Netflix. I think that like the casting was really perfect. I think like the acting was great, the writing was great, directing was great. I love that show. I have nothing bad to say about the show, but what I do want to say is that the Kingpin as a character, although he was great, I think that Vincent D'Onofrio did such a good job. But the whole time I was watching it, he seemed like a wrestler. If you rewatch it, you watch I just curb you. Like it's like he's constantly doing knees. Like he's
and let me tell you something, Mr. Daredevil.
It's so good.
I catch you in the ring on Saturday night. You are gonna be the one that's deviling dares. Whatever that means.
The whole time I was watching it, that's what I was thinking. I was like, everyone in this movie, in this show, is just a wrestler outside of the ring. Like this was written by a bunch of people who just had a little like they were just like me. They played in the bath with their toys, and they were just like, one day it's gonna be the Kingpin versus Daredevil, and I'm gonna get you, I love Vanessa. You never do that to Karen. And like that's just how you write stories, I guess, because like it works. Like I said, nothing bad to say about it. I like even with that thought in my mind, I never had it. Like I loved the show. I just the whole time, like it made me laugh a little every once in a while because he'd have that like growl about him or say something, or when he was just beating people up, and like that was crazy. But yeah, so I was thinking about Lost Boys, and it was just like I just like the magic thing though.
That glamour would have been cool, yeah, if they would have used it more in the movie. They could have done a lot with it. They
could have done a lot more, and like I think it would have been really cool to see Michael realizing that he was doing that. Like if he did that to his brother or something, and he's just like, what's going on, Michael? Like, oh, what is this? And like, like he could have been tricking his brother. He could have, like, or when the vampires came in, they could have been using some form of magic. Like there's so many things that they could have done. It's just like, God, I can't believe, like, it's just weird to introduce magic like that. Or like, I mean, I'm calling it magic, but I don't like vampire science, like I don't like what I don't know what you call it, but whatever that
it involves two mirrors. It's just this huge like prop. It's like Mysterio, like they just like have like a full movie set that he's in right there.
Well, you see what it really was David just likes to keep this Chinese food at hand. One has worms, one has rice, one has worms, one has rice. Watch the quick change. But, watch Star with the assists.
It
turns out it's just Penn and Teller the whole time.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess like if you're gonna be a vampire, like being like a magician is probably pretty smart, right? Like no one's gonna be like, oh, that's definitely a vampire. You just be like, oh, that's a magician. Unless Steven.
Impromptu pitches.
Steven, what if I called you one night and I was like, and we talked about this once before, so I just want to get into it a little bit. So Steven, so what would happen? You're hanging out, right? You're hanging out with the kids, hanging out with Tina. I call you and I'm like, Steven, there's a vampire next door, Steven. Get over here.
I'm there.
You're there. Like, okay.
I'm there.
So like, let's just pretend it's a movie. Like,
I'm there.
Let's like allegedly for legal reasons, let's say that this is a movie that we're making, right? So the movie starts off and it's like you with your family. All right, this is how the movie would start. It would just be like like credits, you with your family, like doing your what is it? You and a sugar bear, honey bun, like what's this?
You're my honey bun, sugar plum.
Okay, so you're doing that, right? Right, you're doing that. So I call you. Okay, so I call you mid-song, right? And I never use the phone, Steven. So
Never
like,
call.
I never call.
We
I
text.
would
We're
never call. I
besties,
would text.
and we text.
I would text. So here's the thing. I call you, and because I call you, you're mid song, and you know. So you pick up the phone, you say, "Hang on, girls," and you answer, and you're like, "What's up?" Right? So I immediately go, "Excuse my language, everyone, because we don't curse on this podcast, but I would in this movie. I would say, there's a fucking vampire next door, Steven."
And I'd be like, "Good luck." No, I'd be like, "I'm there, dude. I'm there. So let me tuck my kids in, and then I'm there."
So that's what I was gonna say. So you finish your song, right? Because like you have to, because it would be so funny. It's
You're
something like
my sweetie.
so you finish the song. It's like adorable, and then it just like it cuts to you just like in my bedroom or like in my living room. It's like, okay, Steven, this is how it starts, and I just have like my Charlie Kelly just like wall of like I didn't want to bring this up. Like I didn't want to say anything until I was sure. I would never do this to you, dude. Like I know you have your whole life. I don't have as much of a situation going on. I have my son. I have things to lose, but not as much as you. I wouldn't bring you in otherwise. I need you to pay attention to this for 1 second. And I show you. And like I go through the motions of explaining how there's a vampire next door. And I've been watching him for nights. And I noticed that he only comes out at a certain time. He goes in his house. He sleeps all day. He has random people going in his house. There are always these beautiful women who like just like seemingly disappear. Right? They're just gone. So I'm like, he's a bloodsucker. He's a freaking, he is a vampire. We have to do something about this. If anyone's going to do something about this, it's us. We call the cops. They're going to send me to jail, and we're both going to lose our kids. Like, this is crazy. Like, we need to do something about this. We have to turn this guy to ash. Like, the stakes have never been higher or closer to his chest. Let's go do this right now. So
Nice setup.
Thank you. So we go over there. Right? Like, so we like lock and look. Do we talk about the vampire myth first, though? What do we know about this guy? So like, okay, so like I look, really all I know is that the sun affects him clearly. I don't know about garlic. I don't know about
We don't know about silver. We don't know about
crosses.
steaks.
We don't know about steak. Well, we don't even really know about sticks. We don't know, like, that's the, like, so what do we definitely bring with us, first of all, is my question.
I think in most mythoses, a steak is a safe bet.
Oh, for sure.
But why? Here's what I don't understand. Why aren't people utilizing like entire pole arms? Like, why is it just a short range stick? You're gonna get in close range combat with something that can literally rip a human being in half with their bare hands.
Yeah.
You're not gonna stand back with a 7-foot pole arm that has a stake at the end of it. So I'm gonna have like a broomstick pole arm situation.
Right. No, we're gonna duct tape. Like, yeah. We're gonna like makeshift. Like, we're gonna look like Mad Max Vampire Edition, right? Like, that's what I'm more or less imagining like like not blockbuster, like cheap like Jason Momoa on my part. I'll let my hair down maybe and like put a little cut in my eyebrow that you can't see anyway, and then I'll just have like this like trident like Dude,
Aquaman
trident
style.
would be perfect against vampires.
Dude, with 3 stakes, can't miss. You can't miss with 3.
You can't miss with 3. So Steven, okay, you have like a trident going on. I think that's awesome. First of all, second of all, oh man, that's such a good. I like the trident idea so much. Like, so we have to. So what do we have around the house? It would have to be like a rake, or not a rake, but like do we have a hoe or like a? I bet I do in the garage. Anyway, so okay, so like we like duct tape one, make a trident up. We like I would like just for safety, I would put garlic. Like I would just like take garlic. Oh yeah. I would just put it on. I'd eat it. I'd put it on my neck for sure, like all over. I'd like garlic bath, baby, and then like. I'd grab whatever steak I could. We do what we can. I'd probably get one of my son's super soakers and do my best to bless it. Like, I'd be like,
crosses.
Like,
we would definitely have crosses.
I'd be like, I know there's a vampire over there. Like, I said it previously in this podcast that if there are vampires, no one has more faith than me in that moment. That in this cross, I don't care. I will say it again. I will and the good Lord will know it. I will 100% be full of faith, and my water gun will be full of the holiest of juices, and I will.
And that vampire's going down.
Oh yeah. So I have a steak. Oh man. Okay. So I definitely have a steak. I definitely have a water gun. A bunch of garlic everywhere. As much padding as I can. You have your awesome trident. We have much padding as you can. Garlic. So we go over there, right? So obviously we have to try to sneak in. Like, I know how to pop a sliding door, like not a big deal. I'm scared of vampires hearing too much. Like, that's kind of it's kind of tricky. I might just try. I think they'd lock their door. Or do you think they're too vain? I've seen this guy go into his house like and just kind of like as if it's like a drunkard in the night with like his like latest victim, and they just like walk in and no one ever comes out. Maybe he's not locking the door because he doesn't care if anyone comes in because he has no fear, right?
Mm-hmm.
So all right, we try that door and like we roll
He's
for
getting
it.
cocky. He's getting cocky because he's been doing so well.
Exactly.
He's been cleaning house.
Yeah.
And
So dude, so okay, we try to we go in quiet, foolproof. No one's here. No one sees us. Darkened house. You look at me, we look at each other, we would share that look as we look around the house, realize that everything in the house looks just like it was straight out of a museum. Like this is like a silly, ridiculous, like the kind of place that like Jared from the Labyrinth would throw a party, you know, where it's just like candelabras and like nonsense, and you're just like, none of these books have been read by anyone who's been alive for less than 100 years, you know, this is the home of an ancient creature. So we're walking in, we give each other a look. We're like, this guy is toast. Like, he's Ash. Like, we got this. We're going to do this. We're both also terrified because we've never done this before, as far as we're willing to say.
It's the first time we've ever staked a vampire.
Yeah. So
with a trident.
With a trident. I mean, first of all, we're starting pretty strong. I think the trident was a good way to go. So we make our way through, right? And we're looking for a coffin, of course, but we're like, would he have a coffin? It's dark as hell in here. Everything's shuttered off. Like everything's like their candles lit. It's like, does he even need a coffin at this point, or is he like, So we're looking around. We go in and we find him, and he just like dark look, like black eyeliner, makeup, just like pale skin, just clear as day. Like this is a vampire, right?
I'm imagining like him. Like basically like the band Him.
Yeah.
Just like a Bam Margera, like in his prime, not now. Right. But like a healthy young Bam, but like with like, not now Bam, like then. Not now Bam.
If you imagine Bam before he was now Bam. when he was Boom, when he was like Bam Bam, when he was Dynamite, baby. No.
But yeah, like that's what I'm imagining. Like the vampire, the stat actor. Pete?
There you go.
Townsend. What was
yeah. I think that's right.
Stuart Townsend.
Right? I know it's a Townsend. Yeah. So, okay. So, like, that guy, yeah, he looks just like that. Let's just say it's Stuart Townsend. He's, like, laying in bed, and he's just laying in this, like, beautiful bed with, like, these, like, dark red silks, and it's just, like, vampire all day. Like, there's no way. Like, we're like, you look at me, I look at you, we're like, we're gonna do, like, this is it. Like, this guy, he's done enough. This is where we live. This is our city. We've never had this kind of pride before, but you know what? No one else is here to do this, so we're about to like build. Like,
go Canes!
so we're about to like plant our flag in this vampire's chest and like just call this our home, So we just like slowly walk up and we're just like kind of looking at each other. You lift your trident, I lift my stake, and we're just like, and we do it and we get him, but he just wakes up and screams like, "Oh, what the fuck! What the fuck!" And he just like. And it's just like this crazy, just like human. Why did you just stab me? What the hell is happening in my life?
With a friggin' trident.
And he's just like totally surprised, and he hits the wall and he hits the bed, and there's just blood everywhere. It's the worst. It's a very Tarantino moment where it was like very innocent, but like real, like it felt like a real life moment, and then suddenly it's just like this crazy, like old school Japanese like kung fu blood, like just everywhere, just craziness. And then he just falls and he dies. And you look at me and you're just like,
he does not turn to ash,
and he doesn't turn to ash or anything. And you look at me and you're like, we did it.
We did it. We saved the world. We saved all of Florida.
And I'm like,
the Sunshine State.
I look down and I'm like, we did it. That was easy. And then, okay, so
the rest of the movie is just two fugitives on the run for a murder.
okay, so that's
it's a reverse from dusk till dawn. From dawn till dusk.
Okay. So this is where it pivots, and I'm not sure where to go with it, and that's why I wanted to bring it up because it's so funny. Like, I love that idea all the way up until that moment, and then I'm like, now what do you do? Okay, do you? Okay, now the first thing I think that has to happen is they realize he's a human. Like they have the like we did it moment because that would be funny, and then they kind of like look down and realize like he's like still alive. He's just like no, why? And he's just like he died. So they look around and they realize he was a magician. That's why that's why he's so ridiculous and elaborate, and he has all this stuff around his house.
He overslept because like he had to perform late nights.
And... he performs at night. He doesn't, so he sleeps all day. You know, he's just like, yeah. So then what I think has to happen is they hear a sound coming from a basement, right? And I think it has to be like, I mean, I hate to be like damsel in distress, but it does have to be like, you know, like damsel in distress situation. And I think they have to go down there and realize that now it can either go actual supernatural, or you can learn that this guy was doing some messed up stuff. But
he was basically like capturing women and using them as props in his magic shows.
That's what I was thinking. So I was thinking that like as they were the characters become accidental heroes by killing this guy they thought was a vampire, but he was really just a creep who was killing his assistants.
That makes sense. That's
or
good.
Like, you know, so like he'd lock them in the basement and like kind of torture them night after night, and then like he'd make a new one disappear. You know, it's like every week he was doing that. But I was like, I don't know where the story goes from there because he's dead. You know, like if he was alive,
that's the resolution, right?
Yeah, because like if he was still alive, and the only like I can't, and the only I don't want to do the cheesy thing where it's like they didn't really. Go on.
What if it just becomes like he's not the only one, and instead of like us killing vampires, it's just us killing magicians? And we just travel the world staking magicians.
Okay, I'm on board with that. Like I think the funniest thing about that is it's just, I mean, well, no, there's so many funny things about that. I don't know where you would go with the story, because we're definitely the villains if we're just killing magicians. Is the problem.
I mean, we confirm that they're doing these things, but in this world, the magicians, they're like in this like secret society of like...
That's pretty funny. That would be really funny if it was like the magicians all have this secret cabal, and that's the reason they always use women for their tricks as their assistants, is because like they're doing this like weird what do you call it, like human trafficking situation, and like they've been doing it by making people disappear, and we accidentally stumble upon this, and we just go town to town killing different magicians,
and we still use like vampire means, so like they get so confused. They're like, we're like shoving garlic in their mouth, and they're like not even affected by it. They're just like so confused while they're getting killed. Like,
so Steven, so that I don't know how this ends. First of all, like I think we kind of need an ending, and I think that it either has to be us becoming vampires somehow, or us becoming magicians.
Dude, secret war between the vampires and magicians.
Secret war between, yeah. So what is it? Okay, what is it called, Steven? Is it Now You See Me, Now You Die? Is it
solid?
Solid. Is Hocus Stacus?
That's even better.
Is it? I don't know, but I just like the idea of like involving magicians, and then that like your turn of like now we're just hunting magicians is gold. Gold. I just love it.
It's so. I just like I said. I just want to see like the confused looks on their faces when they get staked with a trident and stuff over and over again. Just like
so
crosses dangling, holy water in their eyes. Like none of it makes any sense. Holy lemon juice is what this is.
I wonder, like, would we amass like a following? Not just a following. Would like our group grow where it's just a bunch of like BA like magician assistants behind us? Where it's just like we're all just side by side, like taking out these magicians. It would be like the Fox Force 5 or like the oh my god, I can't even think of what they're called. The Viper Squad, the Deadly Viper Assassination Squad. What are they called?
From Kill Bill?
From Kill Bill, yeah. So I
forget actually what they were called.
Yeah, but we'd be like the Deadly Viper Assassination, whatever it is. But like it would just be like us, but like a bunch of awesome, like different, like awesomely dressed magicians assistants, all taking on vampires. Steven?
I feel like this is just like a glamorization of what our real reality is, and that's just like us amassing our ostrich colony. But it's like,
like okay, if you're listening and watching this right now, contact us and let us know how much you want us to make this a comic book, because I'm not like, here's the thing, we didn't decide what we're going to work on for sure after Deathless, and I just want this to exist. I want this to exist so bad.
It's so good. Just imagine like all those like the only thing is like, would we accidentally inadvertently create like a Jaws effect? Like where, you know, people started hating sharks because of Jaws. Like, would we make this? People just start like spitting on magicians and stuff. They already get treated so poorly.
You know what though? You know what? No, that does suck. Ah, that does. I don't want there to be just like an umbrella prejudice against all magicians.
You know what my dad says though? Kick them while they're down. And make sure your toes are polished when you do it. That's his golden rule.
That's his golden rule. Just like Papa always says.
While they're down with the polished toes, and send me a picture. I like how, like, through the course of all the episodes, like where we said we weren't going to tell that story, there's just enough pieces now for people to like jigsaw it together. You know, it's good.
Oh man, dude, it's so fun. So what I'm saying is that's I want to make that book. I'd like to make it a movie, but like it would be so violent and crazy. But it would be such a.
We got to make that. I think that's a later project. Dude. I think we put that on the shelf.
It would be such a funny one shot though, like a 22 page. Just like I could write that whole story in 22 pages. Like that's not a big.
You know, we should even make it even. We could make it even a little shorter and try to get into like an anthology at some point.
For sure, that would be really.
Just squeeze that into a little horror.
Yeah. Oh, that would be funny.
That'd be fun.
Actually, since there are vampires involved, I do want to write. Like, I have a lot of vampire ideas, and I've pitched a couple on this. And like, in the future, I would like to just amass an anthology of vampire tales.
Man, when the day comes where we can work 40+ hours a week strictly on this, it's going to be such a great day.
Oh my gosh, can you imagine how much we get done?
And like just about, like the amount of drawings that get done. Like,
yeah,
I think 40 hours a week, I could get 20 pages done a week.
For sure.
Roughly 20 to 15.
I have so little time to work on anything. So it's just like after work at 9:30, 10 o'clock, after I put him to bed, and then like at 10 o'clock, I have like from 10 until whenever I have to fall asleep to like get any sort of sleep, which is like 1 o'clock, maybe 2 if I'm like really hurting myself. But that's all I get to like live in general, but also write stuff and do stuff, you know? So like if I like, instead of going to do my work where I'm just like, you know, not completely miserable, but not happy, not doing anything fulfilling or anything that like I feel like is worth my time. Like if I could write and like make songs, we would get so much done. We're
getting there, man. We're gonna get there.
Oh yeah, I think we're gonna get there too. It just sucks because I do feel like if I had that time, I could do something with it and actually make it worth it and just kind of make a career. Like I feel like I could do it. Like I have enough faith that I could do it, you know? I almost have enough in savings where I can just like take a couple months off and just try, you know? Like I almost want to just go for it, you know? Because it's not hard to find a crappy retail job, you know? Like I can do it.
Hell, the one you work at would probably just hire you back after 2 months.
That's true. I could just be like, I'm going on paternity leave. Like I need dad time. I need like I don't know. Like I need
it's out of season where we live. Although I don't think Florida's season's ever going away now. But basically out of season anyway. It's not the holidays, you know. So.
Yep, Florida's just like Scrooge McDuck swimming in pandemic.
Swimming in them sweet coins.
Yeah. But all right, but yeah, oh my gosh, dude, that I'm glad you let me, like, you talked about that and we did that just now. I wrote it down to like pitch that vampire idea with you, but like it just organically worked out perfectly. So Steven, okay, that was a lot of fun. What are you doing this week?
Well, I got a few plans this week. I'm gonna, of course, finish my usual, suspects of pages and whatnot, what I'm responsible for on this graphic novella. But I also have Friday. We got Mortal Kombat coming out. Oh, I gotta watch that.
It's gonna be amazing. I can't wait.
Are you gonna watch it before you go to work that day? Probably.
Oh man, I don't know. Well, we're gonna record with Tony V, right?
Yeah.
That's Friday.
That was gonna be number 3.
Well, I'm probably not going to watch it before I go to work because I'll have Atlas. I'll probably just record with Tony V and then just watch it right after, like later.
Nice. I might watch it before then. It all depends.
I mean, you won't spoil anything.
I won't.
Spoil anything.
No, I won't.
But yeah, so Steve and I are going to be on the Tony V, Chicago Tony V show. I don't know if it's the Chicago Tony V show or if it's like a special thing that he does, right? Where he has people.
Yeah. I think I think he wanted to have he's been wanting, we've been friends with him for a while now. And it's just our schedules just don't work out. Cause like I work your normal, like, Monday through Friday, like 7 to whatever. And then Anthony works and just our schedules just never work out for him. Cause Tony, I think, does morning shows.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we finally, he's being so kind to like set it up based around our schedule. So we're finally gonna get to talk to the man, the myth, the legend, and it's gonna be a great time.
Yeah, that'll be really cool. I'm excited. Yeah, I like Chicago Tony a lot, and so yeah, he's been doing this thing called, I think it's like Chicago Tony v Green Room, where he interviews people and like he has it all set up. So it's just kind of cool to watch. And I don't know, I really love the podcast community. It's like on Twitter, it's growing a lot, and I think that, you know, for the most part, everyone's really supportive of each other, and it's really cool. So
I never thought I would love Twitter as much as I love Twitter. Like,
I
Twitter
know,
really has become such a beautiful place.
yeah, well, and I guess it's like anything else where it's like you cultivate your bubble, and as long as like, you know, you kind of like have your Spartan phalanx like around your bubble, and you're like, no one's getting in here who doesn't belong. Like we are dining in hell together. This is my hell. You choose your own hell. Choose your own hell. You know, so as long as like, you know, you choose that properly, it doesn't feel like hell. You know, like you know, but otherwise,
Makes sense.
Because
I wonder where do the combative ones go? Like how do they have how do they make their bubbles so aggressive? I don't know what they're doing.
It happens. I mean,
are they following enemies? I don't understand.
Well, like every once in a while, I see like someone will comment on something of mine, and like it'll just be with like weird intent. Like they won't recognize what my intention is, and they'll just like have these weird aggressive like accusations. Like there was one time where I was feeling depressed. Like I have a whole podcast about having issues here and like talking about my life and stuff, and like I was feeling stuff, and I was just like. So like I posted on Twitter, and I said something like you know, what were you really afraid of as a kid, or like what, you know, what got you, like, or like, you know, like what still lingers with you and stuff. Like I forget what the question was, but then like, and people were commenting, and I was trying to keep up, but I was also going to work, and I'm a dad, and I live a life, and so like I'm like commenting now and then, and this person commented, and they were like what are you doing? You're not even responding to anyone's comments. Like, what are you really trying to get from them? Blah, blah, blah. And, like, it was weird. I was just like, I can't, like, what are you doing? Have you ever, I was like, we've never interacted before. You don't know who I am at all, which is, like, that's why you're capable of having that weird assumption, you know, that you're making. But, like, why is that your go-to? That's a strange perspective to just, like, leap to. You know, like, it's cool that you have that superpower. I also wish I had a superpower, but, like, jumping to conclusions is not the Superman superpower I'd like to have. It was real weird, and, like, but, like, amazingly, because of my Twitter phalanx, like, people who do know me, like, came to my defense, and they were like, he's been responding to people. Like, why would you do this? Like,
Sometimes people step away from their phone or
like, sometimes I'm not
have a life outside of it, yeah.
So I don't know, like, it is kind of funny when, like, people try to, like, peek their head into your bubble, and you're like, whoa, like, no, like, you're misunderstanding this thing that I'm doing. Like, you know, like, I had someone recently, because of the bot chats, someone was like, why would you talk to them that way? And I was like, no, this is a bot, like, this is a scammer. I would never I would never speak to a human person who is, like, a well-intended, just open, real, genuine, authentic human person that way, ever. But this person isn't an authentic human person.
It gives me the ability to be this person.
Yeah, so I was like, they are trying to get something from me. They are trying to manipulate me, so I'm actively engaging in a counter manipulation for fun. And other people, aside from you in this moment, are enjoying that. Like, what are you not recognizing here? And so, like, but, like, to their credit, like, in their defense, they were like, oh, I didn't realize. Yeah. That's funny. And I was like,
on the outside looking in, it's just text messages. Didn't even think to...
Yeah,
you know,
and like
you miss one word, and if you miss one word in someone's tweet, you know, suddenly that tweet means something completely different. You know,
yeah, for sure. It is weird. Like I know I have those communication issues, and like sometimes I'll try to like over-explain things, and that'll make things complicated, and it's just like. I don't know. It's just funny. So I'm like, so I am really appreciative when people are like listening and like do hear you when you try to explain, like, oh, that's not what I'm doing, and that's not what I meant, and like just actually are receptive to understanding what your intention was. But anyway, so for the most part, that's my experience on Twitter, which is like most people are just cool in my bubble. So like I love it, dude. Like it's been so much better and so receptive and so much more supportive than like Facebook or like anything else, and it's fun. Like like there are people there who like I actually build friendships with, which is cool. I didn't expect that. Like,
yeah, it's great.
And like I know the pandemic like played into that a lot as well, because it's, you know, no one's leaving their house, so we're all just kind of like stuck in this weird island together. You know, like we're all stuck in this weird like castaway lost island, and we're like, hey, as long as no one's like gonna try to be the leader here, we're all just cool, right? And it's, you know, So it's kind of fun. I like it. So there's like the writing community, podcasting community, the like comic book community, the horror community, and like it's like the best kind of breakfast club. It's like if you went in the breakfast club, but it's like everyone's like
Getting along.
Yeah, they're all getting along. Like
it's all the best Venn diagram.
That's the best Venn diagram. That's what I'm saying. It's like the sliver on the outside is just like a cool like moon, you know? Like it's just like a sweet moon, but like there's a huge center where it's like everyone's just supportive and sweet. And I love the heck out of it, honestly. So if you're on Twitter, you can find us there. But anyway, so this week I'm going to write song 4. I'm going to record song 3, and I'm going to write song 4, and I'm going to work on as much lettering as I can, which is cool. I'm very excited for it. So that's what I'm going to work on, and you're going to work 2 pages?
Yep. I'm going to aim for 2. If I can get up to 4, though, it's even better, because then I can finish the comic in 3 weeks.
Oh, that would be amazing.
And I'm like getting all this music equipment now. You know, I'm getting my desk set up differently, like my printer's underneath now.
Yeah.
And I got like my amp, and like I got studio monitors now, so I can mix.
Wow.
So I can do like a light mixing before I send it off. And then I got, my Scarlett with the RE320 right here. I got this little thing that I still have to figure out, but it's called a cloud lifter. Cool. And this like makes the signal on the mic even stronger. It like bumps it up a decibel or a few decibels or whatever it is. And then I got all these cool like little pieces of equipment. I'm just so ready to like start like messing with like my Beat Laboratory it's gonna be fun.
Yeah, it's gonna be awesome. You need to send me you need to send me the Shark and the Fish song so I can play with it.
I was actually just remembering that now. I'm looking at my GarageBand. I'm just gonna quiet out my clean vocals, and then I'll send you the screams.
Oh, that'll be awesome, dude. Yeah. So Steven and I, like previously in our life, we worked on a book called Absentees, which we've talked about here. It was also City on Fire. So we wrote a few songs based on that story, and one of them was called Shark and the Fish. And Steven recorded like a quick demo using some of his new mics and equipment. So we're gonna play with that, and it'll be fun. So we might share that eventually, like at the tail end of something. So that'll be cool. But anyway, so if you're only listening to this on one of the various podcasting apps, please feel free to join us on YouTube at youtube.com/wehaveissuespodcast and subscribe and hit the like button. It really does help us. We're trying to get to the 1,000. We are very close to being the 300, which makes me feel awesome. And I'm like, yes, I don't know. It just feels amazing. So
it does feel amazing.
But, you can also find us on Twitter and Facebook. All the links should be below, but it's usually just We Have Issues Podcast or We Have Issues Pod. But we're everywhere. We're on Twitch. You can find us. Thank you all for listening every week and watching us and joining us through this, these ridiculous stories that we tell. Let us know what you think. Let us know which title you think is better for the thing that we were just the vampire idea that we just pitched. Or if you have a better title, pitch us some like magician vampire titles, because I'm really into this idea, and I'm pretty sure that with enough convincing, I can get Steven to do it. So if enough of you comment and say that you want this idea, it's going to end up being like one of our next Kickstarters, and we're gonna make
some point for sure.
We're just gonna make this vampire thing because it's gonna happen. It's gonna be the best thing. This is my new. I'm not dating. All I have is this vampire idea.
This vampire magician murder.
This magician
mystery. Murder mystery. Oh, that's good stuff, man.
So thank you all for listening and watching. We appreciate you so much, and we love you. I'm Anthony.
I'm Stevie Wildcard.
And this is We Have Issues. We'll see you next week. Thank you so much.